Today's recipe is fig tarts. If you're interested in this recipe, you can see it at the end of the video. Hi, and welcome back to the Nonno Giorgio and Rory Cooking Italian for Weight Loss channel. Today we're going to do another dessert because nobody likes desserts, right? We're going to do a fig tart. And our tarts are going to be made with phyllo dough. It becomes real crispy and it's light.
Yes, delicious.
Our figs have been soaking overnight. We took a bunch of figs and put them in lemon and water.
These are dried figs, so if you use fresh figs, you don't need to soak them overnight. They'll be fine. But with the dried ones, you have to re-moisturize them a little.
And this is a really easy recipe. On the stove, we'll show you in a minute, we have some dark chocolate. We got a 2-pound block of dark cocoa. And we put half a cup of amaretto in with it and melted it. And we're going to use that to drizzle over each tart once it's cooled.
You think we're going to be using a lot of chocolate recipes? Yeah, I think so.
All right, so let's get started. Please like our video by checking the little thumbs up. That way you let us know you enjoyed it. Please subscribe by hitting the subscribe button, then the bell and all. This will ensure that you get all of our new videos.
Okay. So here we are. George is getting all the ingredients prepared.
And if you look here, there's always a little stem at one end. If you grab the stem and just run your knife down, you cut it off. And we're cutting them into little ovals so they lay flat. Here's our stem again.
And these are nice and soft because they've been soaking in water and lemon juice overnight.
There's no right or wrong way for cutting these. It's just you don't want to get like a whole fig in your mouth.
Right.
But they're going to break down a bit because of the cooking, and they're going to get soft.
So we're starting out with phyllo dough, which we already showed you. And we're going to use 2 or 3 little pieces to make our little pockets for the figs. And we're going to put some chopped up walnuts and some raisins. It's like a half a cup of raisins and a cup of walnuts. And some, actually that's a mixed pie seasonings, right? Like pumpkin pie seasoning that we have here. And about a little less than a cup of brown sugar. And then you're going to use cornstarch, a little bit of cornstarch to thicken up the filling. And of course the chocolate and the amaretto that George already talked about. So we've got the chocolate all melted already. And he's mixed it in with the amaretto. Oh my goodness. That looks amazingly good.
No stealing.
He's watching me.
So we got the figs all chopped, and we have this lemon water juice. Don't throw it out, keep it. We're going to use that a little bit later. And now we come over here. We're going to just layer them at the bottom of this pan. This is where we use the lemon, and you should be just covering. There wasn't quite enough because they soak them up. So fill it with water until they're just covered.
Perfect.
And turn your stove on high, bring it to a boil, and then we cut it down and let it go for 15 minutes.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Rory is bringing out these beautiful figs.
We are back, and you're just just want to keep as much liquid as possible because that's going to be, you know, the sauce for the filling.
And it's a slotted spoon.
Yeah.
So we're getting just the figs and leaving the juice.
Right. I just have to get the last bits. The last bits of them. Okay. So now we're going to add the sugar.
So this is brown sugar. How much, Rory?
It looked like it was a little, like 3/4 of a cup. 3/4 of a cup.
And just dissolve it in the liquid.
Right. And it's still hot. We're going to put it back up to medium. And then we're going to add our pumpkin spice, which is basically, you know, cinnamon and ginger and nutmeg, a little nutmeg. So you can make your own. If you don't have pumpkin pie spice, you can just mix it up.
This is like a whole Thanksgiving dinner. We're having a pumpkin pie with figs, raisins, and amaretto.
Okay.
So that was the raisins that went in.
Right. And
now we're adding chopped walnuts.
right.
We figured that the nuts would add a nice flavor. And we reserved some walnuts to put in the chocolate icing.
To decorate. Right. Okay, so the last thing is we had mixed up cornstarch. You put a little water in it to make sure it's not lumpy. And you slowly combine it. The heat makes it thicken until you get a pretty good thick sauce. Because you want it to stay in the little pouches we're going to make. You don't want the liquid to run out. So.
And burn the eater. That would be terrible.
Exactly. Okay. So we're just going to let this thicken a bit.
Okay.
So we finished up the sauce to mix with the figs, and it's pretty thick because we want to make sure it stays in the little phyllo pockets and doesn't run off. You can add more corn flour if you need to, if it's not thick enough. Just always make sure that you put cold water in it to mix it up before you put it on the heat, because otherwise it turns into lumps, okay?
And never put the powder in on by itself.
Right. Okay, so now we're going to mix up the sauce with the figs. And we've got all these wonderful things in it. And it just smells unbelievable. We've got raisins and spices.
And this is nice and thick, so it's not going to run out of the phyllo dough. And you can make this with a pie crust if you want. But the phyllo dough gives you like little tarts, and those are nice too.
And phyllo dough is so delicate and delicious and crispy, so I think this will be very delicious.
Alright, so we have a piece of phyllo dough down, and we're going to put some melted butter on it, because we're going to use 2 layers. Try to form a little bit of like a French crispy croissant.
This stuff is so delicate.
This falls apart, but it's okay.
That's all right.
It falls apart, you just go like that, it's okay.
Yeah.
And now we're going to take our filling and we're going to go right down the center. And if you've ever eaten in a Mexican restaurant, what we're building here...
Let me guess, it's a burrito!
It's a burrito!
But tortillas are much easier to work with. Nice, very, very nice. Okay.
And then we put a little bit of butter on it so it browns.
Yes. Oh, this is going to be so good. Okay. Now we're going to take the next layers. We're keeping them under wet paper towels so that they don't dry out.
Okay.
Yep. So now we're doing the same thing again.
And if you get a little piece like you just saw I did, you just put it down. It doesn't matter because when it cooks, it's all gonna go together.
Flaky anyway. You got 2 there, I think. There we go.
And like a burrito, we fold the end up, fold the other end up, and we fold the center up.
Uh-oh.
These are getting a little bit hard to handle, but that's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Our cookbooks are available from both Amazon and Apple, ebooks, iBooks, and paperback versions. Here, the tarts are fresh out of the oven, waiting to be iced, and we drizzle them with chocolate and walnuts. We're back at our favorite part of the show, the tasting.
Yes.
And these little puppies look delicious.
They look wonderful. Okay.
I'm gonna just pick it up.
Me too. Me too. Wow.
They're hot. That is delicious.
There is nothing like this pastry. It is so good. And the filling, the figs are sweet and a little chocolatey.
Wow.
Hot.
The walnuts, it's very hot. The walnuts, the figs,
Yeah.
the chocolate with the amaretto, and the crispy pastry. This is a winner.
All
Right.
kinds of flavors and textures. You'll love it.
Our cookbooks are out. The ebooks and the iBooks are on Amazon and Apple. The paperback comes in black and white or color, and that's on Amazon. And for now, ciao and arrivederci.
Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye-bye. We hope you have enjoyed our channel. If you have, please hit the subscribe button below and the bell next to it so you get notified of new videos when they come out.